right, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time of day it is, or evening, or night. When you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Ashe. You know, I'm here live and direct in Nigeria, and I'm doing the calculus on life. Obviously, the lifestyle here is really different from the United States. I'd say, generally speaking, it's a lot more difficult in the sense that you're building life from scratch here. I took a walk today and looking at all the way the houses are set up, and you see houses that are like in the skeletal phase where they look like they've been building this house for a decade, and then you got a house right next door that looks like a palace. I mean, everything looks state of the art, it's immaculate, and it's because everybody buys a plot of empty land, and they have to clear it, and they have to lay the foundation, and then build that house from the ground up. Every house, very few houses are ready made. The clothing is the same way. On a much simpler scale, clothing is the same way. You aren't going to just walk into an area and find traditional clothes anywhere. They're just on the rack, and you pick your size and the color you like. No, you got to go buy the fabric. You take it to the tailor, and somebody design it and cut it for you right there. And that's how you get things done. Everything is that way here. Many things, the majority of things are made from scratch. Okay, and so it makes life more challenging, right? So when I think about that reality, and then I just think about within that reality, people are living life. They're falling in love, they're having children, they're getting jobs, they're losing jobs, they're having injuries. They're experiencing all of the ups and downs of being a human being. And what it has caused me to realize is that, when your circumstances are really demanding like they are here, you're forced to accept things, process things, and move on, because you just don't have another option. You can't leave your life like that house in the skeletal phase, right? Emotionally, you can't start maturing and growing up, right? Like you start building a house, and then you run out of money or whatever, and you just leave it. You can't do that, because there's just no room for you to ball up into the fetal position and leave things half done in your emotional, in your developmental, in your psychological growth and development and maturation. Okay, you gotta grow up, right? And so it makes me think about just when I transfer that attitude and that realization over to the American experience. Life happens. Life happens, right? Like I said, you meet people, you have relationships, you fall in love, you fall out of love. A person doesn't turn out to be all the things that you had hoped that they would be. Maybe you were deceived, maybe you were mistreated, maybe you were abandoned. All kinds of things could happen in the course of life. And in the real sense of it, all of that is good. It's good. It's all good. It's all good. You look up and you don't want to have those feelings, and you'll be tempted to skirt the feeling, right? And I'm focusing on this because in America, life is ready-made. Everything is ready-made. Okay, you can easily find a house. You can easily find clothing. Everything is already in place. The world is developed. That's the meaning of a developed world. Everything is developed and in place. And so you're not having to make everything from scratch. And so it creates within our people a convenient way to continue functioning in life, but to create these kind of habits wherein you can stop growing. You can stop growing but still function in America. You can stop maturing. You can stop, developing, but you can continue to function. And your life is not going to just stop, right? There's all kinds of things, because everything else is going to continue to support you, right? But it puts you at a disadvantage. And so what I'm saying is that when life happens, when you feel hurt, when you feel disappointed, when you feel betrayed, when you're made vulnerable and all your frailties are brought to the surface, don't overindulge. Don't be too quick to try to escape that experience. Don't be in a hurry to run to your babalawo to try to do something to alleviate the pain, to remove the pain, or, you know what I'm saying, change your conditions so fast because you're uncomfortable. Take the time to really absorb what it means to be a human being on that level. Really take stock of what it means to have your vulnerabilities and your internal contradictions brought right to the forefront of your consciousness, and accept that is what you're experiencing, because that's what's going to help you to then also accept the millions of decisions that you made to put you in that position. Not about shaming and blaming yourself or anybody else, just accepting that, you know what, under most circumstances, it wasn't like I was drugged and abducted and forced to live in some kind of a situation with this person or in that job or in that neighborhood. I made a million decisions over days and weeks and months and years to be in that place. What was I doing? What did I have in my mind? What were my intentions? What was I overlooking? What was I foregoing? What was I avoiding in all that time, setting myself up for this experience, right? Because that's what's going to help you then get the value of the experience and be able to say that, okay, as a result of all this, I understand this is why I do certain things in one way and why I don't do certain things in another way. Because I know I can make a million decisions that at the end of the day, I knew at the 15th decision, this is a dead-end street. But I kept making decision after decision after decision. So I know that I need to nip this in the bud. Don't go too far with it, because I know the fullness of the experience and what it means and why it just is no good for me. That's why I'm telling you, take your time and absorb it. Really don't be too quick to skirt bad feelings, hurt feelings, betrayal, vulnerability, and all that sort of thing. Because once you understand that and once you appreciate that value, then you know that you have the capacity to make a million decisions that are more likely to reinforce the kind of life you do want to build. Right? My mother used to tell me, son, build a monument out of your life through your decisions. Build a monument out of your life through your choices. And this is what she meant. And it just became crystal clear to me as I was walking in the neighborhood. And so I want to share that lesson with you and urge you to, delight in the human experience, the bitter and the sweet, the sunny and the sorrowful, okay, and grow from it. Don't give yourself the luxury of opting out of maturing and growing up and being the kind of an adult that you really truly need to be in order to make the kind of contribution that you're destined to make. See, because all this is predicated upon the understanding that Ordia is what brought you into the world. Something phenomenal brought you to the world. You were in the prenatal state. You were looking out over the horizon of your entire lifetime, and you made decisions about what you would be capable of. You chose what your natural gifts and talents would be. You chose what your relationships would be. You chose when you were going to accomplish certain milestones in your life. You said, that is my destiny. That's who I am. That's how I'm going to show up. Boom. And Obatala ratified it and said, okay, that's what you chose. It's yours. So a purpose brought you into the world. And the only way you're going to fulfill that purpose is by making the kinds of decisions that reinforce that choice. And that means that no matter what sequence of events that happen in the process of your transformation and becoming yourself, you gotta embrace and absorb and learn from everything that comes with those decisions. Otherwise, you're going to atrophy and you'll be like one of those houses that's in the skeletal stage. It's not finished. But it can be. You can be a highly refined being who's making a very valuable contribution to your own life and to the lives of those who you are destined to serve. And so my prayer for you right now is that you will have the courage and the will to recall and value and appreciate and cherish your prenatal choice enough to face everything that goes into transforming you and making you into the highest version of yourself that is possible. Bye for now. Odabo. Aboye. Aboshishe.